Excellent. Okay, then. So we are in about time. We got quite a few people in the webinar. Some others that are still logging in, but yeah, we can start with the presentation. Just make sure that everything goes in time. I hope that you can hear me okay. I don't know if the sound is okay and you can see our screen. Perfect. So any feedback, please send us through the chat as well, so we know that if anything is happening that we are not aware, make sure that you let us know. Excellent. So good afternoon, everyone. Whether you are joining us from your office or connecting remotely from home, we'd like to welcome you all to today's webinar. This is a unique webinar. I mean, the first one where we do with, it's about safe and functional planning the return to physical offices. It's basically, we have a lot of our dealers asking about, okay, what's happening now? We are now, in a very particular moment of design and also, well, in sales of furniture. So everybody needs to know what is happening now in terms of the new COVID-19 regulations and how exactly we are looking into designing the new spaces for the new normality. So what we're going to cover today, let me see who are our presenters. Of course, we have our specification team of designers, and the leading of two of them, the people that are leading this team is Maria Gordillo. Hi, Maria, can you hear me?
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Excellent. Well, Maria is leading one of the. She's been in KiSP for over 12 years, and so she has quite a lot of experience designing with different manufacturers. So that's why we really appreciate their input in this particular situation, because they are of course relying on the theory that we learned, but also in their experience. Also with us is Andrea Martinez. She's also been in KiSP for 11 years, I think. Andrea, I'm not sure if I'm right. I know it's over 10, but sorry, Andrea, I cannot hear you. I don't know if.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now. Perfect. Only 10 years. Okay. Well, it seems a lot to me, but I've been in KiSP for 9 years. Not so many years as you have, but anyway, and also Isabel Caballero will be also presenting with us too. But
just a support today, but yeah.
Excellent. So let's look at the agenda. What we're going to be covering today. Sorry, did anybody wanted to say anything? Please stop me at any time, because I tend to talk a lot. So perfect. I don't know if you hear, but if you have any questions, make sure that you send them through the chatter. We have a box to ask your questions, so make sure that you let us know what you want us to address, or what you want to know about what we're talking about, and we'll be happy to answer it at the end when we review the questions and answers. And also, if we don't have enough time to answer them all, what we're going to do is just get back to you directly after the webinar. So no worries, but we're going to be answering every single question. Excellent. So let's look at the agenda, what we're going to cover today. Well, first, we're going to be talking about where we are. I mean, what is the current situation in terms of the industry and in terms of the new COVID-19 regulations. And then, of course, the importance of COVID-19 guidelines. This is something that I think everybody's aware that they're not new projects, or at least when it comes to new design projects, everything is like pretty much on hold because of the crisis and the pandemic. However, most of the business that is coming now is about reconfiguration, because this is a must, and all the offices need to be following these COVID-19 guidelines. So that's basically what we're going to be covering, because I think that that's what everyone is trying to get in the right path there. So, as businesses and your clients are starting to look at reconfiguring or undertaking a complete redesign of their offices, we wanted to share a few key ways for navigating new normals, because no matter what, remote work is probably here to stay. That's basically what what we want to emphasize here, right? So now it's the way that you used to lay out workstations, so you used to accommodate or populating floor plans. Now it has changed, in importance. So that's something that you want to know how to do. So our main goal today's webinar is to equip you with some key things to think about as you plan your client's office reopenings, and let us help you to make you feel like a trusted expert in front of your clients. And we'll finish up with a review of the areas where our service and specifications team can help. In these times, especially that everybody wants to have a very competitive design team, one of we want to review our services and what we can offer and what we can make a difference in this new the new way that business is going now. Perfect. So let's go to where we are now. I'm not sure about if you are aware that, but it's pretty hard to believe that we are entered now in Q4. So we are nearly the end of 2020, thank God. And back in March, much of the concern that all businesses had was transitioning to an indefinite period of remote work, and perhaps thinking of what needs to change in the office for when things go back to normal. So now is the new normal. Now is October. The current situation has changed because some of the cities, they are having 0 cases of COVID-19, and others, they have been reverted to phase 2 restrictions. So people went back to the office and now they have to go back to work. So there is a lot of new development, and that changes in every state, in every city. So of course you need to look at where your client is, and that will follow and let you, or tell you at least, what are the current needs of that particular client. So compared to the beginning of the pandemic, businesses have become much more serious and eager to take the necessary action steps in order to prepare their spaces to be safe for the return of the employees. So Andrea, if you like to follow on basically what clients are needing.
Yeah, sure. Whether your clients are looking to do an office reconfiguration because of COVID-19 or making room for new teams, one thing is for certain: the office as we knew it until now does not longer exist. However, what's different nowadays compared to the beginning of the year, March, where everything seemed to be all scrambled and we didn't have many idea of what was going on with all of this, is that we all have had the time to get adjusted. We are, most of us, working remotely, and we can make better and insightful decisions as when we return to the office and what is needed for that. This also includes what we are presenting to our clients. While for your client, this period might seem an interval where much of the chaos has died down because we have more knowledge about what's going on, let's initiate and strike a conversation with clients who might have yet to consider the logistics needed to create a COVID-19 compliant office, or give guidance to the ones that have already started to work on it. So what does exactly COVID-19 compliant mean?
To put it simple, when we talk about COVID-19 compliant office, we're referring to a space that is following the rules and guidelines set by the health and design community. It means exploring ways to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone in the space and applying it in a reconfiguration or redesigns that follows these preventive measures. And while it might not be completed stop from everyone in the space contracting the virus, this is a strong effort not only to reduce the spread of it, but also to ease people's anxieties of going back to work.
So why is this information important to know? It's very simple. People's safety and health are on the line, and these measures are in place to ensure everyone's well-being and need to be taken seriously. We cannot simply go back to the office, so we have a new normal right now. However, understanding the guidelines and features of COVID-19 compliant office will also be key helping your clients navigate returning back to the workplace. With the number of cases rising every day, it's not surprised if your clients are uncomfortable going back to the office and risking exposure versus staying home and being safe working from home. So being well-versed with the methods and products that can keep the employees safe could help alleviate some anxiety for your clients while they are thinking about reconfiguring their office spaces.
That's a great point, yeah.
So how drastic some of the changes we have adopted in our everyday life should be an indication that every single space needs to change. So in some degree, revamping and updating to ensure everyone's safety is a key point. So firstly, the first thing that we need to do is to take a step back and look what it needs to be done first.
Yeah, of course. And perhaps the space that you're working is sort of like a warehouse type where there's a lot of room and the area can be utilized in a way that everyone can actually have their own designated zone. Or perhaps what's missing is the lack of dividers that can lessen the spread of the particle droplets, or whatever it might be. Before getting started with any reconfiguration ideas, start with identifying your needs for that particular space.
Yeah, so we have a few pointers to help you get started with the characteristics of what COVID-19 compliance means moving forward from now.
Everyone is now familiar with the standing distance from someone else. In North America, the current distance that is recommended is 6 feet and approximately 2 meters. You're probably reminded of this every time you're waiting at the grocery store. However, this concept, yes, sometimes you have to settle back people. However, this concept can also apply in the office. The 6 feet office simply is ensuring that there's an ample space between colleagues and identifying how closely the regular office may sit them.
Yeah, perhaps your client currently has a benching system that can seat 6 people, like in the image. While it's different, more efficient use of the space, it is. This type of configuration must go for the time being. It does not longer work. So a solution you can pose to your clients is staggering people, like we see on the right side, and adding more pods like that to accommodate more user and providing more space. Always keeping the 6 foot rule distance between the users and enclosing them as good as you can. That way is enough air circulation, and if someone sneezes or coughs, the germs will be less likely to be transmitted to other person. So following all of these rules on the same note as the 6 feet office, you might have seen in grocery stores or everywhere plexiglass panels. Plexiglass or having partitions is also a feature of the COVID-19 compliant office. Having these barriers can provide extra protections from other people's germs, as well as your own germs, from getting transmitted onto other people. While it might defeat the purpose that we have been seeing lately of the open concept office, that it's the latest trend, in the current situation, the layout of open office does not provide enough safety for those in the space. And although your clients might not want to return to the cubicle, the 6x6 with 66 high inches panels, that configuration offers a lot more protection, which should become priority as a way to reduce the spread.
Of course, depending on your client space, perhaps the plexiglass or the partition solution might be too much or make the space too cramped. Perhaps they already have privacy panels installed. One suggestion could make is replace the current panels with taller ones that can give you more coverage. Now we're going to see some examples of what we can do.
Great. Can I say something about the plexiglass?
Yeah.
Why it's actually the preferred material now for panels is because it's really easy to clean, actually, as opposed to panels that have fabrics where viruses and bacteria and all that stuff can be, can stick to it. So the good thing about the plexiglass is that it's really easy to clean in seconds, and you can put a very sanitizing product that like bleach and alcohol, that it won't affect its composition.
Yeah,
sorry,
we will go a little bit further on that on the future slide.
And now we're talking about plexiglass. Please double check with your local provider the lead times or the turnarounds, because of the massive orders that they're receiving. So it may take longer to have it in your store or in the offices. So double check always the turnaround for these items.
That's a great point, Maria, because of course, since the plexiglass now is the most demanded material, then of course you need to know that of course you offer it to your client, but then you can provide it when it's ordered, or at least let them know how long it's going to take for that. Sorry.
Okay, so going back to what we were talking, we see now in our screen a few examples. We have on the left hand that image. There are things that we will encourage to change to the typical, that it's our typical that we consider an open office configuration as it is right now. We will encourage to remove the share surface. You see it highlighted with a blue dot there between the users, and including a mobile screen instead. So that would act as a barrier between the users. Also, we would recommend to increase the height of the center screen and change it to a material that is either laminate or glass or plexiglass. Adding a panel at the end of the run, a screen, something that encloses the user from the aisles where the circulation is going on, that's another recommendation. And also not having 4 users at the same time, but to create a schedule for the workers to come in different times. So you have 2 users at one time, 2 users another time, and create a schedule for the workers not to share that space for people together at the same time.
And on the right image, we can see a typical L-shaped footprint that probably is in every office. So we can make sure that the exterior of the panel has a material that can be easily cleaned. We can raise the spine panels in order to have more coverage. Prefer like standing high coverage, 56 or 60 high panels. And another suggestion will be including wing panels to the aisles to enclose the user a little bit more. Okay, one thing that we need to consider that is very important are the material swaps. As I just mentioned, another feature of a COVID-19 compliant office are easy to clean surfaces. Your client's current office will probably have some fabric surfaces or embellishments. The issue with certain materials is how difficult is that to clean, which directly affects how often it's cleaned. So we all know the importance of disinfecting and cleaning of surfaces that we often use. So however, porous surfaces can not only capture bacteria, but also difficult to kill all the germs.
That's correct. So material swaps is one suggestion that your clients need to consider. Perhaps there are some materials like stools or storage spaces. They are currently lined with fabric. Examples, mobile bed with cushion top. You may consider either change it to vinyl or get it completely removed and stored, or remove the cushion. That's one of the things. A great suggestion is changing fabric to glass or laminate for the screens, rather than having a fabric screen between the users. Provide a glass screen. That way the surface is much easier to clean and will be likely more disinfected because of the accessibility that you have to clean it up. Okay, now we have a little video here, so where you can see how everything that we are suggesting is shown. For example, in that way, we have the storage between the users to have more space. In this case, the users are facing in opposite directions, and the screens are being changed, and including screens between the users, mobile screens that can be removed. There we are removing two users and changing the screens. Those are options that need to be considered. And there's options where the reconfiguration is less, and we are only adding screens to enclose the user and adding, importantly, sanitation stations within the open office. For lounge areas, what we recommend is to reduce the people and discourage sitting one right next to each other.
Great. Can I say also that, well, these visualizations and these animations are done by our team. Our visualization team creates those in-house, and they're a great resource to show your client how the reconfiguration is going to be, or at least you can have maybe one or two created, so you can show this basic stuff and how the changes are going to be. So maybe clients can understand how everything is going to look in the future. And this is really, we use it with clients already, and it's really helpful.
Yeah, this type of animations give you an idea from where you start and where you will end up, and also show you the flexibility of the product and how much you can change within using the same product and without doing a reconfiguration of a great scale.
Okay, the remote work. Okay, one of the things, many things of your client is probably facing is the big issue, the remote work. Of course, many of your clients are not returning to 5 days per week in the office, and may never. Harvard's Business School is saying likely 1 in 6 workers will continue working from home and co-working at least 2 days a week. So prepare, this is going to take a lot. That means for companies, they might be looking at creating new floor plans, hoteling options, flexible numbers of workstations, or even reducing workstation footprints. Those are all consequences of remote work.
Yeah, and here to illustrate what we have been discussing, we have an animation that shows a floor plan, a layout complete, with all of these changes applied to them. So we can take a look, and we will see our recommendations. For example, removal of the pedestals with cushion to have laminate tops. We will see increasing the height of the screens. That will give the users the space division that it's needed, including sanitation stations throughout the open space. That will give them wipes and sanitizer to clean up their hands and everything, and enclose the users with screens, either mobile whiteboards or any type of division that would allow the users to have their own personal space. And that's why we were talking previously about staggering and creating a schedule for the people to come to work, not all together. Finally, we have marked the path of the circulation within the office, and also enclose phone rooms or small meeting areas in the plan. that it's a summary of what we have been discussing that shows clearly everything that we recommend to be implemented in a COVID-19 compliant office right now.
Okay, let's put plans into actions. After assessing the risk and reopening needs, using our preliminary guiding points and identifying all areas of concern, it's time to build and put everything together before proceeding with actually executing the project. Whether it's redesigning the layout of the office with a space planning consultant or specifying new materials, being able to see and understand your plans clearly is crucial for the project success. We wanted to share a few services that our team specialized that help your team in presenting your visual story and will represent the vision to the client fully.
Well, we see listed here, there are services, what we provide to help you to present to your clients with these solutions. We have space planning, we plan and spec, we provide auditings, installation drawings, reconfigurations. Most of what we have been receiving regarding COVID-19 have been reconfigurations. So adapt the product that you already have to the new COVID-19.
Exactly. We can evaluate and assess, all the different steps and also the different options according to what you need for a specific project. We tend to work to follow your guidelines. I mean, to work the way that a designer will do it in-house if they were working for you directly. That's the way we wanted to replicate what we do.
Yep. So we can work, based from sketches. We can provide floor plans, layouts, typicals, and when you are ready to order, we can create installation drawings for you to have all the information needed to make a successful project.
Exactly. And one of the things that also we are very flexible is with the kind of software that we use. We work with all of them. So if you, want us to work in CAD Designer, we can. If you want us to work in 2020, we can. Project Metrics, you name it. Any design tool that you want us to do or at least maybe the job was originated in a specific software. And then, of course, we can follow that too.
Yes, we can work in RFP, RFQ, tender preparations. Also, we can help you with reconfigurations that are not easy and submit specials, and even we can do audits.
Perfect. Yes. So basically, let me just tell you about the timeline. How we work, what will be the process. So first, of course, we confirm, we get usually your first request by email. So where you can send us, as Andrea mentioned, your sketches, any information that you have about the project in any kind of format. Could be a napkin that you scan it, could be a DWG file, anything. We have got anything, right? So yeah, that's good for us. And then once we receive the email, we assign a designer to your project, and then that will coordinate a due date based on your needs. So you tell us, when you need that for, and then of course we always try to accommodate and to make sure that we meet your deadlines according, of course, following our internal workload. I have to say that our team is very serious in terms of the turnaround time. I have to say that if they say, we rather say no to a project, say no, I'm sorry, we're not going to make it. Or it's too much for doing it in a certain time, of course, or we always try, but if that's not possible, we prefer to refuse a project and not basically committing to a date that we won't be reaching. So that's basically, we take really, really seriously here about deadlines.
We don't like to jeopardize any time that you have a submittal. We know those are not flexible, and we prefer giving you the heads up and let you know how much it's going to take us and start from there. There's always room for changing a due date or something, always starting from the knowing what it will entail and how much time it takes.
Exactly. I think you rather renegotiate the turnaround time rather than, you know, just missing it, right? So that's why we know that it works best with this industry. So yeah, what we do is at the end we do a final check, the quality of the work, and also, you know, all the components, and then we finalize it. Our work will be submitted under your dealership standards and title block. As we mentioned, we try to replicate the format and the structure of our work the same way somebody will do it, or your designers will do it in-house. For ongoing projects, we'll conduct monthly reviews of project status as well. If that's something is a project that is too long, then we can, you know, give you updates and make sure that you know where we are at on that particular project. So I don't know if Andrea or Guillermo or Maria wants to add anything on this.
No, I think no.
I think we have been working with all this planning and COVID-19 for some time now. So it's good to share a few tips and tools that we have been to be used consistently throughout this time in reconfiguring and going back to the office.
And basically, to know what we're going to see when we go back to the office, we need to learn a new way to move around the office. We need to set up new protocols. So we need to be very careful when we go back to the office again. So it's the new normal, it's around the corner.
Exactly. And I'd like to share some feedback that I got from one of the dealerships that is working with us in terms of these reconfigurations. And they actually praise that, you know so much about it. And because you've been working exclusively for nearly 6 months about this following these COVID-19 requirements. So that makes, you know, that easy, because, I mean, it's very little. So what there is now of the information, and of course changes with every state. So having somebody that knows and have the experience that been working, you know, with these projects, I think that makes a difference. So good job.
So we have a Q&A. Anyone has questions?
Excellent. Yes, let's review the questions. We have a couple of questions right here, and well, one of is about a project. Let's suppose they want to know, they want to have an idea of how much would cost to have a reconfiguration area. Let's say if they are, I don't know if you can estimate something, or you can tell me approximately how many hours and how is the cost structure of reconfiguring a project to follow the COVID-19 requirements. I don't know who would like to answer that. Maria,
I mean, it depends on the size and complexity of the project. It will depend on the size and complexity. I mean, and also it will include a discussion with the client to see what they are looking for. If it's something like a midterm solution or something that it's long-lasting, just a complete reconfiguration. So it depends. I mean, we have a rate. Our hourly rate is $37, and we will estimate the work based on the conversation that we have and given the complexity
and the information that we have.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Perfect. Yes, and there is a question here from one of from a Technion dealer actually, and they want to know if we work with Project Matrix because they usually work with that software. I think we do. Well, I mentioned that before, but you are the expert, so you can answer that.
Yeah, we do work with Project Matrix, CAP 2020, and CT Storyboard for walls.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, that was actually a following question. They want to know if we do walls as well, and you know, if if there are any changes, of course, on this with these new requirements.
I mean, for the walls, it all applies the same thing, the same concept. But with the walls, we are checking more with the materials that we are using. So it's all less fabric, more glass, more laminate.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. And well, I think we got a few more questions. Maybe we can answer one more. It's actually about talking about, you know, the porous surfaces that are not really recommended for having the office. And how do you solve the sound issue? I mean, how do you make soundproof, or at least you minimize the noise from the office?
Since the new concept, it won't be the open office, going to enclose like every worker in their own, let's say, cubicle. It's not the right word, but it won't be the large benching with 8 persons talking at the same moment over the phone. So you'll be more protective of your conversations and the acoustical, even though you have like hard surface or less acoustical tiles. You're not going to be in the middle of a chaos around you.
Yeah, and the users will be staggered, so they won't be sitting right next to each other, in front of each other. The idea is to have them separated, so the acousticals shouldn't be an issue. And if there are a few material solutions that offer sound absorbing with cleanable fabrics.
Excellent. I think that, yeah, makes it really clear, because I had the same question actually, so that was good that somebody posted it.
And
anyway,
I think half of the people will be at the office. So if there were 10 at the office, it will be like 2, 3 or 4 persons at the same time. So it won't be that noisy.
That's true. That's a great way to put it. Great. So one of the questions actually was about the contact information. If somebody has a project and they want to try our services, they want to try you guys, I mean, just to reconfigure an office, where they need to send the information. So we have a specific email that attends all the reconfigurations. You can either send it to the COVID-19 Design Services, as you can see here on the screen, or also we have a generic email where all the projects for CAD and design services, because it could be that you need, you know, design work, but maybe it's not a reconfiguration, maybe it's not, I mean, it's, well, of course, it will have to follow the COVID-19 requirement because that's the new normal, but at least if it's a new project and you need help with, you can write us or call us directly on the number and the email for the CAD services. We're going to be sending all this information by email. We're going to be sending a following up email with all this information, just so you will have it in written. And of course, addressing directly the couple of questions that are not, that we didn't have time to answer, but we will get back to you on those particular questions. I think we answered the most relevant ones, I believed, so.
Okay.
Excellent. So, well, thank you so much for your time, for you know, being with us on this presentation. We hope that it was useful and to give you some idea of what is happening now with the new normality in terms of designing the new office. Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you, Maria, as well, for you know, sharing all your knowledge. And again, I really I appreciate all the you know, the efforts and how you help dealerships and manufacturers every day. So thank you. Thank you, Isabel, also for presenting with us. And well, if you have any questions also in terms of also the presentations, the videos that we're creating, just give us a call or send us an email. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a nice rest of the day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.